Hey guys, today we are talking about why the Hero 6 sucks. It wasn't clickbait. I've had the Hero 6 for a couple weeks now, and I've done a few videos on it. I did an unboxing video, I did some test footage, my best shots that I got with it. So let's get to the point. Why this sucks. The things it does well, it does really well, but the things that I bought it for, it doesn't do well at all. So I bought this because obviously I was drooling over the features. This one does 4K resolution at 60 frames a second, 2.7K resolution at 120 frames a second, and it can do 1080 resolution at 240 frames a second, which is 10 times slow motion at 24 frames a second playback speed. So those are all slow motion things. They allow you to slow it down without it looking choppy and bad. So I had just gotten the Hero 5 and I ended up trading it out for this because of those new frame rates. It seemed like I was getting a lot more for that extra $100 that this costs instead of the 5, which is only $400. This one's $500. And I was really looking forward to them. As soon as they said it had it, I fell victim to the Gopro fever marketing hype. This one uses the same batteries and the same housing as the 5 and is waterproof without a case, just like the 5. So supposedly this has better low light, faster transitions from light to dark, better stabilization, but basically unnoticeable. The Hero 5 was pretty good at all those also. Compared to the 5, it's like maybe better. I didn't do a side-by-side. There's lots of other videos on that and they look similar. So I had the Hero 5, which looks identical to this. Most of the features are identical to this. The insides are a little different. This has a new chip. I took it on a rafting trip and got some really awesome footage of the rafting and waterfalls and all this stuff. Some of my favorite stuff I've ever filmed, and it was awesome and it came out really great. So the whole reason I bought this, most of the reason anyone would buy this, are those slow motion frame rates. I do enjoy putting slow motion in my videos when I can, but in the past, before I got the A7S II, then I did all my slow motion on cell phones, either iPhone 6 or Galaxy S6, which is what I have. So all the test footage I did, it just came back really noisy, and basically the problem with that when you're getting noise is not enough light. For any of the new frame rates to be even usable, you have to have crazy amounts of light, like blaring, like it has to be midday with the sun blaring down, where it would normally be the worst time to film for any other camera. If you're outside any other time, like at night or at early morning, late at night, golden hour, the slow motion frame rates are unusable. If you're indoors and you're not in like a crazy brightly lit room, then the slow motion frame rates are completely unusable. Basically, everything I bought this for, it can't really do. I watched a few other people's reviews and stuff to see if, you know, maybe like I just had a bad one or something, to see if anyone else is having these problems. And it seems like that's the general consensus, is all the new things about it don't really work well. It's not overall a terrible camera. I'm still glad that I have this one instead of the 5. And here's why, and there are some new features that kind of justify that $100 extra price tag. But overall, my favorite feature of this one, why I'm still happy I bought this, is it lets you stabilize 120 frames a second 1080 and on 4K 30. That's some really nice features right there, and right there I'm glad I have this one, even for the $100 more. That adds value to me. So it doesn't work on 4K 60 or 2.7K 120 or 1080 240. You can't use stabilization with them at all, so you'd have to use a gimbal or mount them on something to get a smooth shot. Audio on this thing is terrible. This is what the in-camera audio on the GoPro sounds like. The audio on this is basically just there to help you match an audio track from something else if you need audio. The other thing that I've been taking as a negative of this, those slow motion frame rates not working unless you have tons of light, it could be useful if you're filming something and it's crazy bright outside right when you have to be filming, and all your other cameras look like total nonsense if you don't have an ND filter or anything. Where other cameras might fall short in too bright of conditions, those high-speed frame rates might come in handy. We did one in the snow. I think anything like skiing or snowboarding, the slow motion on this would look great, just because it's crazy bright when the whole ground is white. It bounces so much light. So that's really optimal conditions for the 240. So if you're getting this for skiing or snowboarding videos, anything like that, I'd definitely go with this one. The other reason you might choose this one instead of the 5 is it has this little zoom slider thing. You know, on linear mode, on wide mode, whatever you're in, you can sit there and adjust how zoomed in it is. I'm pretty sure this is digital zoom, so obviously it's going to lower your image quality a little bit, but it's still a nice feature just to tell if anything far away or whatever even looks good, then you can zoom it back out. So the other thing I didn't like about this is you can't use linear mode in 4K or any of the fast frame rates for 2.7K. So what this does is it makes it look less like GoPro footage. So it ditches that fisheye effect. You can use it in 1080 120, which 1080 120 really has everything going on this one, and that's why I like this. The other thing they changed on this one is the codec, and it's supposed to be more efficient, so you get smaller file sizes at the same quality, but that's something to keep in mind is make sure that you can even use the codecs that it films in. So the stabilization on this one really does work well on the frame rates that it lets you use it on, but obviously you can't use it on those faster frame rates. Now, I was still able to get some really awesome shots with this at the 1080p 120 frames a second, so it's incredible for that. I'm still going to be using this all the time because it has the stabilized 1080p 120 frames a second. If none of that means anything to you because you're more of a hobbyist, then the 5 is what I'd recommend, or even the 4. The 4 doesn't have stabilization though, I think, so I had the 3 and then I skipped the 4. I don't know a lot about the 4. I know it did night lapse. That's pretty cool. And I know that people say that the Hero 4 had really good audio quality. The 5 and this audio quality is garbage. I don't know if that's something they're going to be able to fix with updates, or if you should just wait and skip a model and go to the next one when they have a new one that's good. I'll put a link to the Hero 6 and the Hero 5 and also this gimbal in the description below, and if you use those links, it doesn't cost you any extra, but I make a little bit on it, which really helps keep the channel going, helps us get more equipment to review, and helps me pay my bills. So if you are going to buy this, please use one of my links, and thank you for helping out. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I do a bunch of adventure videos, I do gear reviews, I do like adventure gear reviews and film gear reviews, and I also sometimes try weird foods from time to time, so just tons of fun over here.